And welcome in to a very balmy and hot Dayton, Ohio, and a very hot team in the National Premier League coming in to take on your Dayton Dynamo today. AFC Ann Arbor, the league leaders of the Great Lakes West Conference. Dynamo definitely have a battle on their hands. I'm Jeremy Lance, along with me, Pete Zeeler. Pete, this is going to be an absolute test and a battle for this Dynamo squad.
The Ann Arbor team goes by the Mighty Oak, and they are very mighty. It's going to be a battle. Dayton has to come to play. Keys for today's game: first to score, I think, with the Heat. With the Heat, first to score, because I think you can put the pressure on. With the Heat definitely going to build. Smart touches. And for the Dayton Dynamo, see if they can beat Tapperdine, the keeper for Ann Arbor. First match of the season for him. So it'll be very interesting to see what Dayton faces. And speaking of what they face, the Ann Arbor lineup: Tapperdine, number 1 in goal. The defenders, number 6, Bruno Oliveira. 12, Matt Brom. 19, Jack Ruff. 2, Jake Rosen. In the midfield, 4, Jack Smith. 2 assists on the season. Center mid, James Vaughn, number 16, and Tristan Jacobs, number 18. And up top, JP Raleigh, number 4, Jermaine Winster with 1 goal, and then Jeremy, number 7, Diego Suarez, 4 goals, 2 assists on the season. I think the entire scoreboard said stop him, and I think the third time it said stop him.
A member of the 2015 Cuban national team that went to the Gold Cup. He played in 2 matches against Trinidad and Tobago and Mexico before that third group stage match. He did defect to the U.S., and that's where he finds himself here. Actually, another member of the AFC Ann Arbor squad, Hector Morales, also joined him in defecting from the team. As we're underway here, see AFC Ann Arbor, they definitely, if you look at their logo and everything, it's shades of blue, but rocking the very nice green kits.
They're going to be going left to right. Dayton will be wearing all blue, going right to left.
Yeah, this is the away jerseys making their debut here, as both away matches they played so far in league have been against teams, well, like AFC Ann Arbor, that like to wear blue at home, so can't do that.
It's going to be key, and Jeremy, you and I have been talking throughout the season. The lineups, want to see a solid lineup from the Dayton Dynamo. I know you got some insight on the Dayton lineup, and it'd be interesting to see how they play. Back to Ann Arbor briefly, going with a 4-3-3. Dayton looks like a little bit of a different type of setup.
Yeah, I think it's still probably the traditional 4-2-3-1 we generally think of, and that this team has been pulling out for the majority of the season so far, as Ann Arbor continues to try to move the ball forward here. Out on the right half, and that ball played out there by Kwame Sarkodie, and it's Sarkodie, one of the guys hopping in there. He takes the place of Mitch Diley, so it's Kwame on one side, Mike Diley on the other as far as that back line goes. Corey Weisenhunt in goal, making it all 6 starts now in the NPSL, and that center back pairing of Christian Johnson, Sam Miller. We saw that work last Friday against Kalamazoo, and they're doing that again. We'll have the corner coming up here for Ann Arbor as they set up. It'll be a short corner to number 14. And Mike Diley able there to snuff out that attack from Jermaine Winster. Jermaine Winster, they're going to go again. Might go short to Winster again here.
Oliveira has the ability to bend this in, has done in previous matches.
He puts this one in there, gets into the box, and this will come back out, and it's going to be finally collected. I think it was Christian Johnson got a foot on it. AFC Ann Arbor, though, they keep possession. Still fighting for it. Christian Johnson goes in. That's not taken care of. And it's actually Schooneverd. And now Schooneverd is limping a little bit, and that is not what you want to see here in the opening moments here. Schooneverd grabbing his leg. It looks like he might have been stepped on as he grabs his foot. But there you have, right off the corner, your lone striker up top having to come in and bail out that back line.
Oliveira with the serve, definitely can bend it in, sends it long.
And that's going to be too long for anybody.
Oliveira has been up to those tricks in a recent match, bent one in from the corner flag. An interesting thing as we progress through the lineup for your Dayton Dynamo, head coaching duties today.
Catherine Gordon steps in. She'll be taking care of this match, the one at Knoxville, the friendly this week, and then at Michigan Stars on the weekend. Coach Grice will be back there for our Sunday matchup with Grand Rapids. Let's throw one here to the Dynamo. This ball looks like it stays in here, and John Cottrell just going to send it up forward here. And off to the races is Mark Hansen fighting for it there.
And Dane's got a pretty solid lineup. Cantrell and Dwyer at holding mid. Hutton, Hansen, Lytle at forward or at midfield. And for forward, Jeremy and you and I talked about it moments ago. The Flying Dutchman, little limpy, little sore. As you see in the sideline, Dayton already warming up a player 3.5, 4 minutes into the game. That could pose some trouble. And
it's Alec Vanderslice, who most would say he probably would tell you himself he doesn't always have 90 minutes in him. A little later in his stages of his career. Let's get back to that lineup here as this will roll back to the Ann Arbor keeper. It's John Cottrell and Dan Dwyer, kind of that mid-fielding holding position. And then it's Eric Hutton moved up top and in the central attacking role there, right behind Mike Schooneverd. And then you'll have Tristan Lyle and Mark Hansen flanking him. Mark Hansen, Mike Schooneverd, each with 2 goals apiece. Those are your leaders for your Dynamos. Quick throw in there. Krista Johnson's just going to boot this one forward. Over Hutton. And that's cleared out. Ann Arbor looking to break there. Kristen Johnson had to get in the way of that one. Here's Dwyer. Going to try to get it out there to Lyle instead. Looks like it'll be free kick here for AFC Ann Arbor.
Ball played to Suarez, very dangerous player. Dayton able to take control of it, and that's going to be a key to this match, controlling the front line of Ann Arbor. And if so, and if they can do, Dayton will be in good shape.
Ann Arbor, once again, pressing there. And you look at a clean back line, 4 guys right in a row there. That's what you want to see from Dayton all night, is they are going to be battle tested here in the hot sun. Schooneverd with it now as he gets it from Hutton. He'll actually send it back over there. Hansen calling for it up top. Dwyer's going to have to chase this one down before it goes out. He does keep it in. And now Dwyer. Try to play it around an AFC Ann Arbor player. Doesn't work. This ball eventually looks like it goes out. We'll see what they call there. Is it?
Throw it in.
Yeah, it'll be thrown in Ann Arbor. It looked like it did stay in there and then eventually hit off of Hutton.
The Flying Dutchman showing little ill effects from his knock earlier on, but I think when pressed into a nice run, he'll be
Yeah, we'll see it then.
But that's the key, smart touches, not only because Ann Arbor, a very quick attacking team. Dayton, of course, has played them before, know a little bit of what they have to expect, but also, come the 70th minute, that heat is going to be a factor.
That ball played up there to JP Ryla. Young man from London, England, played in the Millwall FC Academy. Just one of the many attacking options this AFC Ann Arbor bring. As Christian Johnson there had to bail it out to Corey Weisenon, who's going to just bomb it forward here, looking for Big Dutchman. Actually find Tristan Lyle instead. And now Cottrell looking to play it in. They're kind of getting in some tight spaces there. Throw will go to Ann Arbor. They're going to take it immediately. Good play up there. Sam Miller able to get in the way.
And that's one of the keys. You want to have quick touches. We talked about smart touches, but another key is the ball goes out. Don't be in such a hurry unless you're making a quick play for the ball and pushing the ball forward. With the heat, you want to conserve as much energy as possible. And so far, 7 minutes in, Dayton holding their own.
Yeah, it's Mark Hansen there. I just looked down there. Alex Vanderslice still just doing a little bit of limbering up. He's now back over by the bench. So Schooneverd looks like he's ready to continue here as the Dynamo are pushing this ball forward here. And actually Schooneverd just getting onto the end of it there. Playing it up to Mike Diley, making some good moves there up the field, but Ann Arbor cutting it out. Now Ann Arbor will have a chance to regroup as this is played back to the keeper. Again, the keeper Tippenden. First action, at least an NPSL play of the season. And Ann Arbor, again, they bring numbers forward. And again, a much talked about their attack that they have. Really came into the league, obviously one of the newer teams, and have absolutely lit this Great Lakes West Conference on fire. Shooting all the way up to the top of the standings, handling teams. And this team can score on you and score on you in bunches.
10 goals so far in the season, have given up only 4. Very solid team. And one key for Dayton, they can get the victory, they'll bump themselves up in the table and very well could go up to with Lansing a couple stages up. So Dayton performing very well. One thing I do like the fact, as you see right now, Dayton is going to take their chances.
Yeah. Cottrell bumped off the ball there by number 4, Jack Smith. Northwood University product. This ball once again played up here to the Dutchman for Ann Arbor as he's trying to get around Sam Miller, and Sam Miller does a good job. This will ball roll out, though, for a corner. Dayton going to be having to fight off another set piece here. Sam Miller, a fantastic match against Kalamazoo. Not enough can be said about the effort he put in, but he's definitely going to have to bring that same level today against this Ann Arbor side. Especially here on the set pieces, which outside of Schooneward, he's probably the tallest guy for the Dynamo to get in front of these balls, and there it is, Schooneward sending that one up, and it's staying in. That's actually going to be Sarkody get on the end of it. He'll just track this ball down. Now Dynamo will have a chance here to set up. So this ball actually go all the way back to Corey. Misplayed there. Sam Miller, he's under a little bit of pressure from Jermaine Winster. Christian Johnson.
Solid run.
Yeah, streaking up the pitch here. He's really been the rock and probably the most constant starter as far as that center back pairing goes, and he's played really well this year as he comes in, one of the younger guys on the team. This ball goes out off of Hutton, actually, excuse me, out of an Ann Arbor player. It's Hutton's pass to Tristan Lyle was cut out.
Like the aggressiveness of Dayton so far early in the match, definitely pushing the ball up to pitch, and the thing you like to see is they're being quick with the ball and making those smart touches.
Schooneward fighting for it but not able to get it as Ann Arbor has it now. They have a chance to get forward, and Mike Diley getting in front of that. Schooneward kind of pulled out to the side. Hutton, the only guy really in the middle there, and he had 3 green shirts there when the ball came to him. Sarkody battling with Ryla. Throwing here for the Dynamo. The blue kits, though, yeah, this is the one that the fans have really liked. It. This is really the first chance that anyone's actually been able to see it outside of preseason.
Nice ball laid off.
Diley trying to get that up. It's going to be cut out as it tried to get to Hutton. Hutton fighting back for it. Lyle now with it. 2 Wright State products currently playing together on the Raiders team. Now Hansen with a shot straight at the keeper. Tippenden did well to get in front of that one.
Good give and goes, good progression up the field. I like this to see the high pressure from Dayton. And that's one thing that Coach Gordon brings to the table. Being a goalkeeper coach, by her expertise, she's very defensive-minded. Nothing on the other coaches for the Dynamo, but I like the defensive set. Tight defenses, take your chances. And Dayton playing quite well. And the thing I do like the fact about it is they're making Ann Arbor play wide and make quick touches. And I think that's something they're not accustomed. They're more of a running team.
JP gets on this one. Yeah, Catherine Gordon, she's actually right there in front of this as this ball, much to her chagrin, will be an Ann Arbor throw-in. You see her up there motioning the guys into position there. I mean, Coach Grice did set the lineup for this match before he left town, but she is definitely taking this role seriously, wants to get these guys a win. This is a crucial match for this team. We talked about the Kalamazoo match being a bit of a Waterloo moment, finally getting that win under the new leadership of Grice. Now it's about where they go from here, and this is their first chance to really show it. Does that ball go out? It'll be a good throw in here for the Dynamo coming up. So that skipped off the head of Jake Rosen.
Fans, we remind you why every moment, Premier Health is proud to be the official healthcare partner for the Dayton Dynamo, dedicated to healthier communities and a healthier you. We're proud to make a difference in the neighborhoods we serve. And Jeremy, you're right about Coach Gordon. Being a goalie, you're always there, you're up. I'm up here in the booth as a former
You're moving
goalie.
around too. I have to stand back so I don't get taken out by you.
You always want to get in that action.
Sarkody here. You're going to go for the long throw in here. This worked against Kalamazoo. Try to get to Schooneward. They don't.
They're going to call a rethrow because Sarkody was about 7, 8, 9 inches onto the field on his throw.
Yeah, I believe he also was leaving his feet off the ground also on that one. So I don't know what, I guess they're just going to give it throw into Thrown to AFC and Arbor. I think it was straight to Dwyer, and now Hansen. Back up to Dwyer.
Nice.
He's able to hang on to that one. Lays it off at Tristan Lyle. Lyle just couldn't get around his man.
Bumped off the ball. Dayton's going to have their first foul of the match. Ann Arbor is going to get a kick. And Ann Arbor, a quick-paced team, but one thing I like to see is Dayton is definitely sending the numbers back when need be, taking the chances, and making smart touches on the ball.
Good play up there, trying to find JP. Ann Arbor able to maintain possession there. Now the ball. JP Sarkoti able to steal it away. Kwame Sarkoti. Talk about him and his family and the great soccer products that him and his brothers are from this area.
An unbelievable vision on the field.
Oh, yeah. You talk about the Sarkoti brothers, both seeing, obviously, his brother playing for the other Dynamo, the Houston Dynamo. Kwame having a few cups of coffee in MLS. Talk about some of the other big products. Talk about a guy like Chris Rolfe, who comes from this area.
Chris Rolfe and Corey Weisenhut, keeper for the Dynamo, teamed up when they played for the Renegade Soccer Club. And we have a lot of great products from the area. And that's one nice thing to see. Great products on the field, doing what they need to do, getting the chance to play some pro soccer. And it's great for the fans. We've got a great crowd today. And so far in the 16th minute, as they're deadlocked with Ann Arbor 0-0, great crowd, great atmosphere, and great effort.
Yeah, so far, Dynamo hanging with it as Schoonerwood tried to get on that one. Hutton, though, able to retrieve it, keeps it in. Really just some tightrope walking there. And this might be a corner upcoming. And no, they're going to say goal kick. Thought it ramped off of a green shirt last, but goal kick is the call here. 16th minute of play.
We got two balls on the field. That always makes it a challenge for the team. Well, we got a moment, fans. Want to remind you, want to look cool like Jeremy and I, because we look really cool. You can. For all your latest gear, news, and notes, visit the website, DaytonDynamo.com.
If you're the keeper, though, and you get the two ball situation, do you look and see which one you like more?
For my playing days, I usually was getting both of them from out of the back of the net, so it didn't really matter.
Dwyer with it now. Gets around his man. Gets up to Schoonerwood, who just misplayed it. I don't know if he was trying to dummy it off for Dwyer, who was coming around the other side. Ann Arbor, though, now they're going to move up here. This goes to their big Dutchman in the middle and misplays it to JP. That goes out. Throw in here. Sarkoti will do it. If you hear a siren going, it's not that we're near a fire station or anything. That's actually a hand crank siren that the Gem City Squadron guys have going over there. JP Rowley passes it off to James Vaughn. Vaughn, another Northwood University product. He is out of England as this ball goes up. JP, another Englishman, and just a little too far. As Corey, I think they're protesting that Corey might have grabbed that out of the box, and it was close.
It was really, really close, but
yeah, I saw multiple Ann Arbor hands go up in the air, wondering where the call was, where the free kick was for handling that ball, where the yellow card was. Or
you and I in our challenge. I'm down 1-0 from the last match. Still think that ball was in.
I don't know. You saw it. I posted the screen cap on social media. I think there's a little bit of blue, enough blue to where, I don't know, the angle is hard. I think that ball was out, but here we are as Ann Arbor. This cut out there by Diley, Mike Diley, doing a great job. Again, one of the older guys, veteran guys on the team that have really showed up this year. Cottrell, John Cottrell. One of the many Brits out there on the field today. AFC Ann Arbor are coached by Eric Rutland, also a Brit, and a guy who's been in the league for a while here. This shot's going to go wide. Jack Smith just has a go. They're going to say it went off of Corey's hand. And I see Ann Arbor players are still protesting, saying, I'm pretty sure that keeper just handled that ball out of the box a minute ago.
You got that near the hash marks, but with now in the 19th minute, Ann Arbor able to get their 4th corner kick of the match, actually their 5th corner kick of the match. This is where Dayton's got to tighten up on those set pieces and not let anything trickle into the back of the net. Corey Weisenhut got to get the troops ready to go.
And Eric Rutland's up, and I just mentioned his name, and he's still protesting, saying that keeper grabbed, they keep pointing over to the same area. That keeper grabbed that ball outside of the box.
And that's an interesting perspective of this game. What team has more to lose in this match? Dayton, a little bit lower in the table, definitely want to get the win. Not at this point, not the favorite to win the match if you look at the standings.
Right.
And with Ann Arbor being at the top of the table, I think they have more to lose.
Right. I mean, you look at Dayton, if we're being honest here, it's a team that's in last place. You can't get any lower than last place. Already in last place. A team that has already had to make a coaching change. Probably not going to make another one this year. Corner comes in, cleared out easily by Mike Diley. Again, we'll just roll back to another green shirt. But yeah, Dayton, I would say, has in some ways nothing to lose, but as far as their season goes and just how this season's going to go from here on out, you could say they have almost everything to lose, because you have that high of that Kalamazoo match, and you come crashing right back down if you don't play well today and get completely run off your own turf.
And Dayton doing this, not only the smart touches, smart defense, not overcommitting, not exerting the energy they don't need to when they're 70 yards from their own goal, and playing very tight soccer and very good soccer. And I think this is probably their strongest lineup so far in the season.
Yeah, pretty much a similar lineup from the Kalamazoo match. You switch out, when you switch out Mite and you bring in a guy like Tristan Lyle, you bring in Eric Hutton, putting him in right there behind Schooneward. So outside of that, basically the same. But a lot of the strong pieces there. Dan Dwyer, who's right now chasing the ball, had himself an amazing match against Kalamazoo. Coach spoke very highly of him. Mike Diley sending this one back up. Won't find Schooneward. Found Jack Smith, and now AFC Ann Arbor able to move.
Watch the turn.
Shot coming in. You got to watch the movement there on the ball when it comes from Dario Suarez. 4 goals on the season. It's now Mike Diley once again pushing himself up the pitch, moving to the middle of the pitch. This is your right back here, making all that movement.
Ann Arbor's giving him room to work with, which is a surprise.
Now Kwame. Off to Cottrell. Cottrell starting every match last year for the Cincinnati Saints. Cottrell just does a great job hanging with the ball. He's a good, almost a quarterback style guy who can just control the ball, send it out where it needs to go. Johnson looking for a long ball. That's definitely his specialty, is gets it to Schooneward. Lays it off to Hansen, who had to fight for it and still fighting for it. Back to Sarkody now. Dwyer playing it up. Hutton might be able to get to this one as he's under some heavy pressure, and in fact heavy enough that we'll get a free kick here for the Dynamo.
Dynamo need to take advantage of this, say 30 yards out, dead on. Have room to work with, room to make some runs. It'd be very interesting to see how this is set up here in the 23rd minute. Quick play.
Taken quickly by Sam Smith, who just walked up and tapped it over Tristan Lyle, who gets into a little bit of a scuffle there with his defender, and it just rolls out. The big goal kick. So sort of a wasted opportunity. I don't know if they drew it up to go that way, to be a quick one over off to the outlet there at with Lyle, but absolutely nothing to come from that one. And you got to think against this Ann Arbor side, you're not going to get a million chances. So you get a free kick like that, maybe you want to think things through a little bit better, as Miller hits this one out of play. Throw in here for Ann Arbor. Those flip fields over to Jake Rosen, Schoolcraft College player. Now James Vaughn laying it off to his countryman JP, who was offside and came back from an offside position to get that ball.
David get the free kick here in the 24th minute. Fans, well, I got a moment. We're going to remind you, Voss is creating higher standards in the Miami Valley in sales and service for over 40 years. The Voss Auto Network, built on trust, driven by integrity. Voss is a proud sponsor of the Dynamo. Visit any of their 8 dealerships in person or online at vossauto.com.
So be Kristen Johnson, we talk about it. This is a guy that likes to just boot it, and he actually doesn't go too far. Keeps it kind of low, a little bit of a worm burner, and Dwyer coughs it up almost immediately to Ann Arbor. Played up there to Suarez, excuse me, to JP.
Nice turn on the ball.
Yeah, Kristen Johnson doing a great job to wrestle that ball away. Now Cottrell, I don't think he knew he had Suarez chasing behind him. He had to stop and rethink what he was doing there. Now Diley, he'll send it up. Schooneward gets it. Heavy touch from him, and Tristan Lyle able to get on the end of that one as it ricochets off of Cottrell. Now Hutton. Hutton originally brought into this side here as Mark Hansen's going to have himself a go, and that goes just over the bar, but great movement on that ball.
I think that caused more concern, and they're going to call a corner kick out of this.
Wow.
Not sure who it deflected off. Dayton will take it, though. Second corner kick of the match.
I kind of thought Hansen got that cleanly. It did not curve like a ball that was ricocheting off someone, but they'll take this ball here as it'll be the Wright State Raider, Tristan Lyle, backing up, getting ready to take this one. Obviously, you're looking for Schooneward. He's under heavy protection there. Mark Hansen throws himself up in the air for that one. Doesn't get to it there. Simple throw in coming.
They need to regroup back quickly up. Ann Arbor just did them a favor, slowed the pace down on the throw-in. Again, that quick-paced style of Ann Arbor, but so far Dayton has been up to the tally and not able to have Ann Arbor just push and push and push. And that's the style of the Mighty Oak.
Throw in here. It's JP there with a kind of a dangerous high boot to get that ball. It almost took Dwyer's head off. And now the Dutchman playing for it, gets it to his back line. Ann Arbor has reset and now sending back up field all of their firepower. Great layoff there. This will be cut into JP. No, it'll just be handed off to number 16, and that'll go wide. Looked like players stopped there for a moment. I don't know if there was a callback or anything.
No foul or anything on that play at all. Very interesting to see. You have a setup from the top of the box. You have opportunity, even have a chance to stop the ball and set.
It just seemed like everyone kind of slowed up right there once you got into the box.
Going back to game notes, first to score, beat the Heat, smart touches, and Ann Arbor blew that chance, and that's something Dayton wants to see. First team to score today is probably going to have a severe advantage in a positive way for either side.
Yeah, especially in this heat, then you're chasing the rest of the match. That was James Vaughn that had that thing on a tee for him, and I don't know if he just scuffed it or what, but I felt like I saw most of the players in the box just hold up there right before that shot came. I don't know if the Dynamo defenders just kind of felt almost like they were just completely caught out as that ball almost finds Schooneward cut out there by Ann Arbor nicely.
Good
and
steal.
Now, good Hansen with the steal. He's going to take another shot, gets blocked immediately, falls to Dwyer. Looked like he was almost going to hit it on the volley there. Back to Hansen, who's going to have to probably run to chase this one down. He gets a foot on it just before it goes out.
Hansen playing a heck of a match so far on the field. Touches nice, taking the shots. Definitely something I want to see. And early on in the season could be an early season finalist for team MVP so far.
Yeah, you know, Mark Hansen came into this, has been with this organization for 3 years now, obviously playing both seasons. This ball goes up. Corey should have this nicely. Both seasons in the NPSL for the Saints. This is his third year with the organization, and just talking to him after matches, before matches, you can tell that he's really just stepping up and taking this extremely seriously. He's very proud to be wearing these colors, be continuing his pro ball here with the Dayton Dynamo. So a guy that I think is going to probably here this year and from years to come really blossom into one of the on-field and off-the-field leaders for this team is Schooneward. Does a good job there of trying to push off to get that ball, but ultimately loses it. And now on the other end, his countryman was wide open and off to the races. Did they call that offside? They did.
The offsides on the play, and that's one of the ones that it's a good play, it's a great idea, just caught in a bad spot. Coach for Ann Arbor would be happy to have that happen every time, but 29th minute, Jeremy, I'm in shock. Not that the score is what it is, but this Dayton is really, in this chess match, every move that Mighty Oak are making, matching every single step.
And, I think there was a lot of people joking that, Dayton being the last place team, they're just going to sit and park the bucks for 90 minutes and hope to survive. But you see them, they're pressing upfield. They're the ones with the shots on. They've came to play. They want to not play scared in front of their home audience. They want to, the big thing last year, I remember the talk with the team was, make your home field a fortress. That was their big thing. And they always took pride in making sure they always got results on their home field. As Suarez trips up on that one. Really good opportunity there as it was cut out by a Dynamo pass. And Ann Arbor had a real chance out there to get forward. They had about 4 bodies moving forward. Dynamo able to recover. A little fortunate there that Suarez got the ball tangled under his feet. Is now Schundeward.
Looking to lay
Tried to lay out for Lyle, but that got intercepted, and that was read immediately that was going to happen. He moved the second. Schundeward went to leave that ball off. Now Lyle has it. He'll play it up for Mark Hansen. Swede looked like he wants to have a go here again, try to curl that back in. He just ends up rolling a soft one, took a tumble in the process. He'll go down for a shot on goal, but not exactly one of any kind of potence.
Good turn on the ball. Ann Arbor, though, quickly moving forward, now holding. And Ann Arbor caught a little bit behind offensively. But right now you can see, as we're getting in the 30th minute, that heat is starting to be a little bit of a factor.
And you wonder if the Dynamo need to pace themselves as far as trying to play up the field and get that first score. Is if they keep doing this where they're having to chase back as Ann Arbor just pours men forward on the counter.
And they're going to take a
water break.
break.
They're going to go water break. I expected this to possibly happen, so we'll have a minute here as 31st minute of play. Water break going on. Is you got to imagine, I mean, you've been down there. You talk about artificial surface. If you've not played on artificial surface, you don't know what the heat does to it. You might as well be playing on a mirror. I mean, it just kicks that heat right back up in your face. Your feet are getting hot. Your cleats are getting hot.
And it's a good sportsman's thing for both teams. And the nice thing about it, it's a 0-0 match.
Right.
You don't want to see anyone get sick. You don't want to see anyone get hurt. And, need to be hospitalized for water. And I don't know who came off the field quicker, the referees or the players. But, it's hot. And it's what's needed to be done. Fans, while I got a moment, I want to remind you, Circuits and Cables is a proud sponsor of the Dynamo. They're located on South Brown School Road in Vandalia. Circuits and Cables manufacture custom cables and circuit board assemblies. For more information, visit circuitsandcables.com. And Jeremy, while I have a minute, we can talk about some upcoming matches that Dayton will be in.
That's right. So we talked about it on the 13th. That's actually tomorrow. They will be in action tomorrow.
Yes, that's going to be
They're going down to Knoxville. Now, it'll probably be a lot of the guys we saw in the earlier Knoxville match on Friday. A lot of the younger guys. Pretty much nobody you're going to see featured today. They will make that trip down to Knoxville in the mountains. Maybe get some taffy while they're down there.
Bring us back some.
What was my wife always get? The apple butter. They have that. Then on Friday, it is up in Michigan playing the Michigan Stars. And then that's Sunday, 2 p.m., a week from right now. Right back here as they host Grand Rapids FC. Side that actually Ann Arbor played just recently as we're back ready to get underway. Ann Arbor beating them 3-1 just a few weeks ago.
A moment about the June 19th match, Father's Day.
Yeah.
Bring your father out. Jeremy will buy your father a free soft pretzel or buy you a soft pretzel. It's Jeremy.
Who's buying us a soft pretzel? We're fathers.
I'm just saying you will. Jeremy will buy everyone a soft pretzel day.
Okay.
Sound like a plan?
Sure. I mean, it'll be vouchers that may not be legal tender at the concessions here, but somewhere.
That's why we can do this up
It's good for a free pretzel, yeah. Ann Arbor moving the ball up here. This will just roll over to Kristen Johnson. Sarkody playing it over to Wisenhunt.
Interesting to see so far the psychological dynamics of the game. Dayton is playing their match, doing what they need to do, and you're starting to see a little bit of Ann Arbor players pointing, gesturing to each other, saying, do this, do that. Hey, you need to be here. And that bodes very well for
starting
Dayton.
to get frustrated with each other, starting to get frustrated with the weather, starting to get frustrated with the officials.
Maybe us.
if they heard what we were saying. This is a long ball here from Cottrell trying to get Tristan Lyle on the end of it. He'll take a shot, and great job there by Tappenden. Peter Tappenden, Ann Arbor product, Colgate University. Said making his first league appearance.
Plays it forward. Offside.
Schooner's offside there. He knew it. Waited for the whistle. It eventually came. You know, Hansen and Schooner, this is really only their third match together. You got to see that as a pairing that's going to continue to gel and continue to get better, and they definitely like playing with each other.
Excellent combination that you have in the midfield. Very solid. Solid veteran keeper. And Dayton here in the 35th minute. Deadlock with Ann Arbor, 0-0.
Friday, this was when mistakes started to happen. Obviously, we'd mentioned it was a different lineup as Cottrell bombs us forward. Hansen's probably not going to be able to get to that one as it'll just roll out. They're going to say it's off of Ann Arbor. Off of number 2 there, Jake Rosen. So actually a nice throw in here upcoming, and Sarkody walking up to give the long throw. He'll instead just play it up front here to Cottrell. Cottrell's going to send that ball in. Goes right off of an Ann Arbor foot and back out. Christian Johnson coming to clean things up. This will go back to Sam Miller, who might just have to play this back to Corey.
Nope, he'll get the resettle. Ann Arbor pressed off the ball, which is nice to see for the Dynamo. On that last chance that Dayton had on that set play, he's got to put the ball in, got to serve it in. But this is
Hutton with it, back to Lyle. Hansen was calling for it that whole run up there, as he was in a good amount of space there.
But good high pressure on the ball. Ann Arbor not able to do much with it. Dayton's going to get another throw in.
Yeah, another dangerous throw in here.
And that's what you want to see. Dayton keep the high pressure up. Sometimes you mentioned players being pushed forward a little bit. Sometimes you might want to put your midfielder at a higher position because they have more defensive skills.
Well, now here we're going to see it. This is going to be Mike Diley taking this, as he's going to have to push out one of the sponsorship boards to give himself some running room. This is the combo we saw work for the first goal against Kalamazoo. Mike Diley with the long throw in. Schooner going to look to get his head on this one. This will go short. I don't know if try to play it to Lyle or what, as that was not high enough there for Schoonerward. Bouncing around now, Tristan Lyle bringing it down. Trying to hold off defender and let it go out off of him. It did, but the ref not seeing it that way, or at least the linesman. Now Ann Arbor had a chance there before Cottrell got in front of it. Again, now they have an opportunity, but that ball is going to go out. Quick throw in there from Diley. Up to Tristan, that's cut out as pass to Hutton. And now this played up, JP gets ball on it, but Sarkody there to win it back, and now Hutton. If he looks over again, Mark Hansen has got himself a lot of space there out on this right side as everyone's kind of pushed slightly to the right there on the far side of the pitch. This will be a long one.
Offsides.
Up, and he's offside. Fancy feet were just a little too quick.
And I love the communication of the Dynamo. Kwame on the last set down for Ann Arbor was just kind of snuck up on him, and he went, oh no, defender there. And again, 37th minute of the match, Dayton playing a solid game, smart touches, smart defense. Ann Arbor getting a little frustrated.
You talk about the good midfield play of Sarkody in 2014 for the Saints. He was a kind of a winger, wide player for the Saints just last year, and now this year moving back into that fullback position, as this has to be headed back to the keeper Tippenden, as Schoonerward was right there looking to pounce. And I always feel worried about throwing it out, but Schoonerward is definitely a poacher's goal scorer. I know some guys hear that and they feel like that's almost a knock, that they don't have the skill to create chances, that they're just picking one when they are. But Schoonerward is a guy that is very smart, and when he sees that ball, and this is a dangerous opportunity here, and that'll go wide. I think Corey got a piece of it. Dangerous situation there, is finally that long ball that they've been trying to feed in all half finally connected there the right way, as that was Winster.
Oliveira, very dangerous corner kicker. 6-1 of the match for Ann Arbor.
Out of Brasilia, Brazil. Sends this one in. Schooneward just telling him to go again. Similar to the Kalamazoo match, where they're just continually giving up free kicks, set pieces. Just inviting danger as Sarkodie got ahead on that. Cottrell booms it out of play. Sarkodie now kind of cramping up a little bit. In fact, Wisenhunt had to go check on him. He's getting him some water. I don't know if he's cramping up or struggling a little bit here in this heat. Nobody warming up for the Dynamo at the moment. That may change here as, yeah, I think I see Manny Ajay might be getting up here momentarily and getting ready is probably the sub they'll make there if they have to. Back underway, Ann Arbor. As they look here, it's 40 minutes of play. Both teams probably looking to maybe see if they can steal something here right before half. Good pressure by Dwyer.
And Arbor press forward, only have 2 back. Dayton can make a run. Tough to do that with 3 green shirts on you.
Hutton there gave the ball away, trying to flick it out for a throw-in.
Suarez calling for the ball. Nice layoff by Suarez.
Yeah. Over to Smith, and now over to number 16, James Vaughn. Sent into the box. Miller getting onto it. Lyle getting onto it. Wow. And
Nice
Corey
play.
just had to clear him out to get to that.
Not able to get to it.
No, had to kind of send it out.
But had to make that effort. It was going to be a tough knock, and it would have been a very easy turn towards goal. And Arbor's going to get their 8th corner kick of the first half.
And it was a scary moment there as Sam Miller got on the end of it, but he just sent it straight up in the air. So it was going to come right back into the box, and that's where kind of the insanity ensued there. And Corey throwing a body in front of it. As this one comes in, it's going to go wide and well wide. Be a throw in right next to the flag there for Dayton. Sarkodie, who cramping up there a little bit a few minutes ago, he's taking his time as ball boys and girls are taking their time. The heat's getting everybody down there. .42 minute of play here. I think for the Dynamo, you would be satisfied definitely to go in keeping a clean sheet.
On the last 2 advances down the field, Ann Arbor started sending 8 field players in, only leaving 2 back, trying to be a little sneaky on the play. But Dayton has been up to the task so far, and as you can see right now, if they can turn, Ann Arbor only has a few back. Nice leg.
Good job by Hansen getting it to Schooneward. Just couldn't get out of his legs there. Now Lyle. Off to Hutton. Hansen's going to send this one in. They go a little too far for Schooneward. Dwyer was up there to possibly get on the end of it as Ann Arbor now. Jack Smith sending it on over. Ann Arbor going to try to burst up the field here. Got to imagine we're going to have a few minutes of stoppage time considering we did have a water break. That's probably at least worth 2 right there.
And as give and go as attempts by Ann Arbor, just not Dayton able to hold tight and slowing the pace down. 43rd minute. This is one of those crucial times as a coach. You don't want to see anything silly happen. But Dayton is just getting a chance to turn and turn as Hansen has the ball right now. And right now I'm looking to make a run.
Yeah, giveaway there though by Lyle. Here's JP getting around Miller. JP's going to have 2 options there in the box to send it up to. Very dangerous here, and that's going to go in as an own goal off of Christian Johnson. And that is what you never want.
And that's what we talk about. You don't want to see those mistakes. JP able to sneak through, able to lay it across, and despite Johnson getting an own goal in favor of Ann Arbor, Suarez was literally stepped right behind him, would have been able to tap it in. Good aggression by Dayton, but Ann Arbor, a team very well experienced, took advantage of it. And in the 44th minute, Ann Arbor up 1-0 on your Dayton Dynamo.
So that's an own goal there for Christian Johnson. I mean, he's right there on the line. He would have had to send that ball straight up in the air, really, to get it to go anywhere. But
as you see in the replay, Suarez is step-by-step right behind him, would have tapped it in. But with a minute or so, maybe 3 or 4 minutes left in the half, Dayton has to have a very short memory, make a turn, make it happen right now as they push the ball up the field. As one of the Dayton players takes
a little high boot there on Lyle.
Lyle definitely took a hard knock on that play. Referee having some words with him, with the Ann Arbor player, saying, can't be doing that. You know, but that's a physical play, going for the ball. Nothing malicious there in that attempt at all. But now, this is it, key part of the match. 45th minute, Dayton has to come out of something with this.
Sam Miller's got it now. He was the one that did the quick play off to Lyle, which...
And he was carded.
He was carded, okay. I didn't see who it was who got carded. So first yellow card in the books, and that goes. As this call sends in, Schoonward almost gets to it. Now Kwame, who is probably coming from an offside position anyways.
I think it was Oliveira.
Oliveira probably the one that got carded there.
Pepperdine going to go real slow in this one to get out of here for them with a 1-0 advantage, but sends it down long.
Play it up to Suarez.
Not a set
Cody
play.
having to run in to clean that.
And now as we're in extra time, you want to see no more damage.
Try to look down at the fourth official to see if he was giving any signals as far as what that time was going to look like. We said with the water break going to be at least 2 minutes. So probably looking at, I would say, maybe 3 or 4 all in total.
Suarez.
Ann Arbor, though. Suarez with the opportunity. Christian Johnson able to block that one. Good high boot there to get the ball there for Mark Hansen, though, but he left it behind and now fighting for it, getting tangled up, and he's about ready to get a whistle there as he had a full shirt there of a player, but the Dynamo bench yelling as well. Well, that's number 2. Jake Rosen getting pretty animated there with the ref before he was coaxed away by his teammates.
And not sure what the call is going to be. Is it going to be a throw-in? There haven't been any signal yet where that will end up being.
Looks like it'll be throw-in for Ann Arbor. They're going to be a free kick here for Ann Arbor. Well, that's really interesting because I didn't see anything that warranted a foul on Dayton. I know Hansen had some shirt, but it was fairly mutual exchange there. And Ann Arbor now with another opportunity here off the set piece. Sent in, Johnson sends it up. Ann Arbor's still with it. Pass to Suarez was cut out there by Sam Miller.
Going back to the set play, as where it looks like we're going to get down halftime. Very curious how Ann Arbor only sent 5 up on that play, but we are at half, a very heated and animated halftime.
Yeah, and you see Eric Rutland there still chatting it up there with the refs as he walks across the field. The away locker rooms are on the other benches, or the bleachers you see there in the shots. Own goal, not what you want to see, especially if you're the Dynamo. You play a really strong half, and then to give up a goal in that way right before halftime. Very painful for them. 43rd minute. It's Christian Johnson now on the score sheet in the worst of ways. We will step away for halftime. We'll be right back for the second half of the Dynamo and AFC Ann Arbor. Welcome back for the second half here. Dayton Dynamo chasing here now as it's 1-0. Heading into the second half here as Dynamo's about ready to get us underway here. Ann Arbor getting their goal off of a Christian Johnson own goal in the 43rd minute. Schooneward and Eric Hutton getting ready to get us back underway, and we are. Immediately Cottrell's just going to bomb it downfield. Be interesting to see what Dynamo will do here in the second half, Pete, is obviously they're chasing this game now, but you're fighting the weather and you're fighting the fact that this is a team that can score on you quick, so you don't want to just completely throw this game away.
I would say for the 45 minutes, Dayton played a good, solid 44 minutes and 59 seconds. Honestly, yes, it's an own goal. They gave that up, but that happens. Stuff happens. You get a bad bounce. Dayton coming out firing here in the 46th minute. So at this point, if I was Coach Gordon, I would pretty much, my halftime speech would be, just play. You're doing fine. But Ann Arbor is a team that can move quick.
Yeah, and they are right now. JP did a little step over move. Almost lost the ball. He'll play it back. Sarkoty getting in the way of it. Sarkoty now looking to send it up. I saw Sarkoty talking with Coach Gordon right before the half, this second half started, and you wonder if a guy who has experience playing up a little bit, if he's going to be called in to move up the pitch a little bit. Is now Mark Hansen on the far side has the ball, look to turn to send it in.
Looking for help, has none, now he does.
Yeah, Christian Johnson moving all the way up there as both Dwyer and Cottrell, the holding midfielders, had moved up a little too far to really help out at all, and that ball go out for,
looks like a Dayton throw.
Yeah, either a Dayton throw or a, goodness, this is a corner.
They're going to call a corner. We'll take that. 47th minute, Dayton's going to be lining up for their third corner kick of the match. Correct me if I'm wrong, last time against Ann Arbor, they came out firing in the second half. I believe Hansen got a goal right away.
Hansen got a goal early in the second half, that's right. It was off a misplay by the keeper. He was there to pounce. This ball comes into the box, immediately finds a green shirt, goes back out for a throw in there, but it is for Dayton. That was number 14 there, Jermaine Winster. So again, on the corners for both teams there, striker, their offensive Dutch player, is the guy back there cleaning everything up on these corners defensively.
And Dayton has to push, and as you can see, yes, they have the ball very high in the offensive third. Dayton only sending about 2 or 3 back for defense. This is where you got to make it happen.
Mark Hansen tried to get on that one. Hutton's going to get this one. It's up. Hansen's going to have a little bit of room. He actually plays it back. I don't know if he thought Hutton was right there for it. Now off to the races as Cottrell's not able to get to this one. This will go up to JP. JP's got Suarez coming on the other side there as he's got 2 defenders. He'll take a shot, and that's
side netting. Off
the side netting there. And
JP showing that he has speed and he could send that ball with some pace.
I was going to say, just showing the danger this team can have. The second they get that ball, they are moving upfield in numbers. A lot of guys who can put that ball in the back of the net, a lot of pace up front.
And we got a moment, I want to credit both Dayton and Ann Arbor, 2 wonderful cities with great soccer traditions. Ann Arbor up there, up in the 734, has a great soccer tradition, great high schools, Pioneer, nearby Celine does really well at sports. 2 great programs. It's nice to see them battle it out here.
It's JP again wanted that ball there. Sarkoty back to clean things up. Ball goes all the way back to the back line of Ann Arbor.
And just to finish my thought, it shows the strength of the NPSL. Great cities with great competitors, as you see right now.
JP here, another opportunity to send this ball into the box. It's cleaned up. It'll be goal kick as it was shielded away there. I believe that was Hutton getting all the way back there. Hutton originally registered as this team as a defender. But you mentioned it. I mean, both cities, great soccer traditions in those towns.
And it just builds for the NPSL as they keep going on and just keep growing and growing. It's great for us. We're happy to have the Ann Arbor fans listening to our broadcast right now. Of course, Dayton fans as well. And it's just, obviously it's a beautiful game, and it's great to see 2 communities come together competitively and really give it their all. Both teams have played an excellent match. We just want to see Dayton turn it around.
Yeah, we've seen the NPSL Midwest really show themselves as kind of the highlight of the league. I mean, you're talking about a league with 85 teams, and it's the Midwest that has really shown brightly as far as organizations being strong, marketing appropriately, getting good fan bases. Obviously, you can talk about Detroit being the flag bearer of that endeavor as this cutout here by Ann Arbor. To Suarez. Tries to get around
All ball.
Dwyer. He doesn't. Dwyer, great job there. And gets up to Schooneward. Now Lyle. Lyle here on this near side here, this half. This ball will just go to the keeper. Mark Hansen not making that run in. Not on the same page there with Lyle. Saw last in the offseason, actually, NPSL scouting camps where they do all-star teams. And it was the Midwest coming on top, actually. Two former, as here it is, JP moving into the box here. He'll take a shot, does not curl the way he wants it to. Be out for a goal kick.
Good effort by JP. He has the turn, might have been able to take another few steps in, but, you know, that's what Ann Arbor wants to see. You got those forwards, they're going to take the chance, and with a 1-0 lead, if you can get that second one, especially with the heat today, that could be the clincher.
A 2-0 lead is going to be a real hard hole to climb out of in this heat, and when you're really just struggling to string together too much of offensive possession here, as Dwyer will push this back to Kristen Johnson. Sam Miller having again another solid outing. As Schooneward got hit on that one, he's holding his face. Little collision there. He's checking for blood. It'll be a free kick upcoming. A few yards in front of the box here for the Dynamo. We'll see who takes it. It was Sam Miller taking the ones in the first half. Not sure if they'll switch that up here for the second half. You got Dwyer, Kristen Johnson, and Cottrell standing over the ball now with the official there. Is looks like it'll be one of them. It'll be either Dwyer. It looks like it'll be Johnson. Johnson's got the boot. I mean, he's the guy that sends this thing downfield normally.
Johnson can send it in. Another opportunity, square it left.
Schooneward kind of hanging out well offside, kind of trying to get his bearings together here still. I got to think he's going to be one of the targets you look for as he now gets with the line. And Johnson went straight in, and what an effort there. And Tippendit had to be careful there to not rake his face across that post there.
Excellent shot in. That's what you want. And that's a tough position for a keeper. Yes, you got to raise up high for the ball. And if he would have gotten a fist on it, that could have been dangerous off the post, or excuse me, off the crossbar. But Ann Arbor will take it. They'll get a goal kick here in the 53rd minute. And Dayton quickly resetting back on defense and making sure they have the numbers and don't want to see anything fast-paced happen from Ann Arbor.
Flicked on there by JP, but Kristen Johnson will just send it back. Corey Weisenhunt. Corey starting all 6 matches in the NPSL. Had stops in the USL here in Dayton, and then as well in Antigua back during the Caribbean era of the USL. They short-lived what the league would ultimately call as a disastrous endeavor, putting 3 teams in the Caribbean.
Misplayed there by the keeper for Ann Arbor, and Dayton will take it. And one interesting thing about Corey, a lifelong friend, have known him for years, coached him years ago. The Antigua team, if I remember correctly, I think they went 0-18 or so on the season.
Yeah.
And it was...
from what I hear, Paychecks also went 0-18.
It was very tough for him as a player to endeavor that. If you can survive that team and that stress, you can survive pretty much anything. They're going to call a foul here for Dayton being pushed off the ball. The Flying Dutchman. Dayton's going to have a direct kick. I would say more or less set up in a corner kick area here. So this is one as a coach, it's hard to figure out what do you do. What do you do this deep?
Well, it'll be Lyle to take it. He's been the one to take these corners here so far for the Dynamo. Dwyer standing there next to him.
Look for a runner.
Yeah, look for Sarkody is also another good option there as he's kind of standing kind of towards the near post there.
And J.P. Ryliff for Ann Arbor is snuffing that out. No possible run. He's got to swing it in.
And he does, and it's off an Ann Arbor player, stays in the mixer. And that goes out. I don't know who that was off of that sent it out. Is it's actually going to be a corner off of Ann Arbor.
Very dangerous.
Yeah, Mark Hansen was there. Ultimately a defender putting that ball out of touch.
But Dayton keeping the ball in the offensive third. 55th minute. Fans, we have a moment. Want to remind you, our best will keep you at your best, whether you're an avid athlete, weekend warrior, or just being active. You need the experienced team at Premier Health Sports Medicine on your side. Call them at 866-608-FIND for more information.
Looks like we're going to get a sub after this corner that comes in.
Yes!
And that is across the mouth of the goal. Keeper had to get a hand on it. Ball finally going out. Beautiful opportunity. Just no one there to finish it off. As I think we're going to see that substitution now, and it'll be interesting to see who it is coming off.
Christopher Mighton will be coming in, local product.
Yeah, Christian Mighton of Chaminade Julian, where the Dynamo will call home next year. And it's going to be John Cottrell coming out of the game. So with Mighton coming in, Mighton more of a winger. Probably just going to leave Dwyer back there, and it's kind of the only holding mid.
Mighton with excellent touch on the ball. Short ball being played off, going to be served in here. Fed across.
Yeah, Hutton over to Johnson. He's got the strong boot, and we know Johnson wanted that one right there as cancel out his earlier contribution to the score sheet.
And you can't fault him for that. Dayton's
No,
just going to
there's really nothing he could have done there.
Keep the pressure on, keep the ball. Obviously, I mean, any soccer player would know you want to keep it on the other offensive third, but just keep that pressure on. Good things are going to happen. Ann Arbor did that in the first half. Got a chance, snuck one through, was own goal. If you keep that pressure on, good things will happen. Mighton would.
This will go to Mighton. He's going to head it forward. I think Schoonward might be offside, and he is, as he takes a wicked hack at that one. Hits off the uprights.
Just took a offsides by just a misstep there. Excellent play, though. Ann Arbor's going to quickly try to serve it in. Fans also want to remind you, you know what? Jeremy and I look good. You want to look good like
Certainly
us.
do.
For your latest Dynamo news, notes, and team shops and look great like us, awesome gear, visit the team website at DaytonDynamo.com.
Play continues there as good play in by Dwyer to get the ball. And
Excellent.
laid it off there for Hansen, who just is probably a half step behind to get on the end of that one. Dynamo showing some might there. They definitely having some opportunities here early in the half. Bring on a guy like Christian Mighton who can definitely help spur on the offense, as Tristan Lyle does a great job to get on the end of that one, but almost gives it away there. It'll still be a throw in here for Dayton coming up. Sarkody with it.
Bring Mighton in. You have a fresh player on the game. In the heat, though, that freshness wears off after about the time they're announced. The player is announced into the game. It lasts just moments. But Dayton right now with the push.
Yeah, and that was Mighton there, putting a foot in to get that ball. And Hutton will actually have to play it back. Dangerous there as JP is right there. Could have cut that off from Christian Johnson. And now Sam Miller having to lay out. And this is going to be some wide open action there as Sarkody's going to have to get in front of this one. Jermaine Winster had all the room in the world when that pass came to him.
And Sarkody definitely showing no ill effects from possible cramp in the first half, able to turn back, twist his entire body, played out of bounds. And usually when you're cramping up at that point, you're going to take a fall, and you definitely can feel that cramp. So he is back, replenished. 59th minute, Ann Arbor with the throw-in, and Dayton definitely trying to get the troops defensively lined up.
The entire Ann Arbor bench just got off the seat. They'll start warming up here. Shouldn't take too long. This ball's actually going to stay in play. Mike Diley, good job there to stick with it. Or that was Hansen, actually. Now to Dwyer. He wanted to send that up. Tristan Lau did have some space if he could have got it up to him. Now Dwyer laying it off to Sarkody. Mighton spinning around there, lost control, and I guess they're going to say he pushed off, or they're going to say play on. Thought I heard a whistle there for a moment as Hutton finally able to retrieve this ball for the Dynamo, and now Johnson leaves it off for Hutton. Dynamo moving back up the field, looking to attack there. Schooneward kind of barking out some orders as far as where he wanted people to go, and Lyle and Hutton, you'd think two guys currently playing together at Wright State would be able to communicate a little better, as they weren't able to there, and now Ann Arbor with it. Ball goes up to JP. JP with it again. Looks to feed it up there to number 6. It's Oliverio. Now Mighton chips this up for Lyle. Lyle will get to this. Turning around here, he's going to get into the box. He's got 2 options there, cut out there by Ann Arbor, and really could have had a good opportunity to play that off to Schooneward at the top of the box.
Needs to be quicker on this step. Dayton getting a little sloppy on some of their touches. Got to be a little bit more control.
And that's that heat again, though.
But I was going to say, that is definitely the heat. That heat will play tricks on your mind and also your physicality. But Dayton pushing forward.
You look out into the stands, you think it's raining out here with the amount of umbrellas that are open right now. People trying to beat the heat any way they can, as sun pretty much directly on top of the stadium at this time of day. Ann Arbor with it there. Brazilian laying it off. Ann Arbor really doesn't need to hurry the ball at all here. Got to figure the heat's going to catch up to everyone on the pitch, so this game has a tendency to possibly slow down towards the end here, as this will go all the way to the Dutchman. Winster gets around Sarkoti. Taken down by Sarkoti. Play on. Goes back out. And Hansen probably going to be whistled there as he shoves number 2, Jake Rosen, off the ball. Free kick coming here to Ann Arbor. May just be a throw-in.
Looks like a throw-in.
I think they're going to go free kick.
They're
going to free kick, so that is foul there on Hansen, kind of shrugging off his guy. Everyone by Schooneward back there as it goes into the box. Corey getting high to get to that one. Lyle gets around his man, but the ball goes a little farther than he wants. This will actually be played out, and that's a corner. That's going to be a corner upcoming, as misplayed ball there by number 12, the Frenchman, Matt Brame.
Trying to play it back to his keeper and obviously mistouched that ball. Dayton's going to take the corner kick, and Dayton needs to be set up here. The heat's definitely getting people going at a slow pace.
Yeah, a lot of guys grabbing their hips, grabbing their legs. I see Mike Diley stretching his legs out as he's kind of the last man back at the moment. Corey all the way up to the football 25-yard line. Be Lyle again to take this. He's got Miller and Schooneward right there in the middle. Hansen and Sarkoti behind him. This plays low in. Hutton almost got a piece of it. Lyle not able to get to it. It's actually going to say it went off of Ann Arbor last. Ball stays here. As now Diley's going to come in for the long throw-in. Ken Diley found the forehead of Schooneward against Kalamazoo here on the long throw, and here he goes. And that's not going to go to him at all. And Lyle keeps this ball into play. Schooneward gets ahead on it. Played up, keeper Tippenden. Able to hang on to that one.
Nice play by the Ann Arbor keeper. He can control his box, be able to sky high for that ball. Danger averted by the Dynamo, and Ann Arbor, the Mighty Oak, sending it along tack, but Dayton keep controlling.
Ann Arbor looking to make 2 substitutions coming up here. It's going to be Yuri Farkas, who did score against the Dynamo in the season opener. And as well, number 8, Zach Pagani, Colgate University product. Those 2 guys will check in here momentarily as this ball gets played up here to Tristan Johnson. Hutton looks to have moved back into almost a holding role now, as you see kind of the attacking midfield work being done by Mighton at the moment. Johnson going to send this forward. Lyle, I think, was actually onside, but the ball was way too far for him to get to. Oliveria. Sends this ball up. JP's going to have a chance to chase it. Sam Miller gets on that one. Dynamo escape again. Diley now. Gets it to Mighton, who just couldn't get a solid touch on it as he tried to play it up to Skundward.
Looking for a give and go. Nice turn by Ann Arbor.
Yeah, great turn there by Ann Arbor. Sending it up, but a little miscommunication there. Jermaine Winster just not able to make that run. Sarkodie, though, doing a good job keeping pace with him out there on that far side. Been able to keep him in check somewhat. Ball goes back to Corey. I think we were going to see these substitutions here as soon as this ball goes out. Both players limbering up next to the fourth official.
Good high pressure.
Goes back to the keeper here. Tippenden having to play it, and they'll actually play it out, so we'll see those substitutions here. Yuri Farkas, Brazilian from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Plays at Madonna University. Solid program there. We see a lot of Madonna University guys in this league because they're playing for all the Michigan schools. So he will check in here. And then Zach Pagani. So we'll see who came out here. Looks like it was Dario and Winster came out. Double check that here as we get back underway.
Two players listed as forward, but really at this point, Ann Arbor has a mixed midfield, but with players that can score and make those runs. Dayton now finds himself in a very tough predicament. They got to make something happen with Ann Arbor putting in fresh offensive legs.
Yuri Farkas getting in the action right away. Again, Farkas did have a goal. He had the equalizer in the opening 2-1 win over the Dynamo up in Ann Arbor. Still have JP up top as he's looking for a run, and
Offsides.
definitely offside on that one. Mike Diley doing a good job to keep him off.
Excellent idea by Ann Arbor. Good give and go attempt, good thought. But again, crucial moment of the match, 67th minute with Ann Arbor having fresh bodies in on the offensive front. Dayton's either going to go to their bench and get some fresh blood in, or they're going to have to really pick up the pace and get an equalizer.
And Eric Kissinger warming up. It looks like Manny Ajaya about ready to step in. Those are two defensive substitutions, though, that look to be upcoming here.
Be curious to see what Coach Gordon has planned for substitutions. 68th minute, Ann Arbor 1, your Dayton Dynamo 0.
Chance here. Misplayed, though, by Mark Hansen. This will roll all the way out by the flag. Throw in here.
Fans Are Best will keep you at your best, whether you're an avid athlete, weekend warrior, or just being active. You need the experienced team at Premier Health Sports Medicine on your side. With locations throughout Southwest Ohio, Premier Health makes it easy to get the care you need to get back in the game. To learn more and find out a sports medicine specialist near you, call 866-608-FIND or visit premierhealth.com/sportsmedicine.
Sarkodie throwing it in there, finding Mighton. He's just not able to keep control of it. Hutton, though, with it now. Goes right back into the danger there of the two players as Yuri Farkas right in the face of Mighton here. He's able to get it away, not to Tristan Lyle, but Ann Arbor player plays it out of touch and throw in here. Diley's going to want this as we're close enough to the box that he can possibly throw it in.
We're going to have a substitution for Dayton.
Yep, we're going to get that substitution. This will finally be Manny Ajay coming in.
Referee holding him off on the sub.
Yep, throw in here. Looking for Schoonward. He couldn't get to it. Dwyer kind of shanked the shot there. This will roll to JP. If he can get around Miller, which he does, he is off to the races. Kristen Johnson tracking in to come in, and he is able to clean that
Excellent.
up. What a beautiful job there by Kristen Johnson, saving what was very likely a one-on-one opportunity, and pretty much a 50-60% chance that was going to be a goal there. Sarkodie, though, back on the other end. Tried to lay it off. He's going to earn the free kick. Slow to get up here. Mark Hansen checking on him. I think we're finally going to get that substitution. See who this is.
It might, in fact, be Sarkodie. Nope.
It looks to be Diley. Diley stepping out. Manny coming in. You wonder where he'll move to. He's generally been more of a center back pairing if they're going to move Johnson out wide. Manny kind of getting his assignment of where to go for this free kick here. It'll be Christian Johnson to take this one. Plays this in nicely. Goes straight to the keeper, though. Great job there. Schoonward almost may have got a little touch on it.
Excellent set piece. Beautiful ball. Nice run in by the Dynamo. Unable to come away with anything. But 71st minute, Jeremy, I like the fact that Dayton is keeping the high pressure on.
Yeah, Peter Tippenden, though. Good job there to clean it up as he sends this ball down now. Good fall from Miller. Kind of lays it off. Mark Hansen with it now, having to get past Christian Mighton, who didn't want to interfere with that. Back to Miller. And, you know, we're seeing this right now, and it's probably the heat, but you look up top as these guys look to send the ball forward, and you just see it gets very static up top. They want to see those guys moving so they can get it up to them. I think AFC and Arbor kind of calling for handball. They got this here, though, and JP is going to be onside as Corey has to come all the way out to get to that one. Didn't put hands on us this time. Just his feet is, this will just be a throw-in.
Corey Wise is not the experienced veteran goalie for the Dynamo with some previous field player action. Looks like we're going to have a quick water break, but needed to come out and make that save.
Yeah.
72nd minute. And Jeremy, while we have a moment for the break, recapping the game. Ann Arbor with a 1-0 lead at this point in the game. Dayton needs to push the pedal to the metal and make it happen. Because the slower you go, the more the heat is going to be a factor. And Ann Arbor is going to be able to slow the pace down. Dayton has got to really come out firing. Curious to see if there'll be some substitutions.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see what kind of substitution we might see. The only person that's been up outside of Manny, who is now in the match, is Eric Kissinger. And we said that's another, you know, at best defensive mid substitution. You look at a guy like Montoya, Mitch Diley, who's on the bench. Those guys have been sitting there. They have not moved yet. So those are really the only offensive options on the bench. Alex Vanderslice being another one. He warmed up earlier when Schoonward was hurt, but Dynamo kind of need to start pressing a little more, and they might need to start making those offensive substitutions.
Kissinger, a wily veteran for the Dynamo, has experience in the USL and PDL, but not the offensive threat. Very good on the ball as a defensive mid and even in the back line. Be curious to see how it works out. Kristen Montoya Friday night played in the friendly and against Knoxville and played an excellent match. So Coach Gordon's going to have to find her bag of tricks. And Dayton's going to have to come out firing and come out quick. I say about 8 or 9 minute table right now where it is going to be a crucial time for Dayton to make something happen.
Or do you just try to survive till about the last 10 minutes and just throw the kitchen sink?
I say push it now because in soccer, as you well know, anything can happen. A weird bounce, a weird something, let alone the first goal was an own goal. So I think you got to make that push now because Ann Arbor's a team that has had a lead. They've done excellent in the season, and they can hold the ball to the point where it's just going to be kickball in a sense for the Dynamo, and Ann Arbor's going to be able to, that's going to feed right into their plan. So I think this is going to be a very crucial 7 or 8 minutes, but as we'd say that,
Ann Arbor moving with the ball in the offensive end. Shot there, Corey spills it. Ultimately able to take care of things as that ball came in with some pace off of James Vaughn. Now we see Vanderslice getting up and warming up. Still no Montoya or Diley, Mitch Diley that is. Manny Ajay, the only substitute so far, sends this ball forward. Schoonward not able to play it there now. Sam Miller getting into the mix to keep possession alive there, but not happening. AFC Ann Arbor really can just control things here and just try to play mistake-free football for the next 17 minutes plus. As they actually have a player down. We're going to see the substitution. It is going to be Kissinger finally getting to this match. He'll be number 17, which I knew would happen there. He was originally listed on the dress list as 11, and I thought to myself, wait a minute, that's Christian Johnson's number. Or that's Montoya's number. I think they're going to have a little switcheroo there.
Kistner will come back and play a defensive mid, kind of a holding defender.
Yeah, he comes in for, it's going to be Dan Dwyer, who, once again, just another solid outing by him. Just a guy who can get everyone on the field, pace for days, able to really get in the mix and help clog up the midfield as best as they can, and when need to, track back and do some great defending.
And no attempt to say Ann Arbor's pulling any gamemanship. They do have a man down who is cramping on the field, but any stoppage of play at this point
You
just
see the water bottles break out,
yeah,
too.
just slows that pace down. Ann Arbor in full control. They got the goal lead. They got the touch. They got fresh forwards up top. So, again, crucial time for Dayton.
Not sure if they're going to make a sub yet. I don't think I've seen anybody enter in to this match, as he is stepping out. We're going to get a reset here in a second. James Vaughn, Englishman, Bexhill, England, Northwood University product. Only his second start of the season. Had a good one here, plenty of opportunities. Really helped make the offense move out of the midfield and creating some chances here. So it looks like we're going to have number 17 stepping into the game. Willie Bamey. Crew Academy product, Columbus Crew Academy product. A few of those on the Dynamo roster as well.
Has played all 5 matches. Or 5 matches so far this season. 5 starts. And that's one thing that Ann Arbor brings to the table. When you have starters that did not get in the match originally, and now they can come in the 60th minute. They got the experience, they got the touch, they got the skill. And that got to make you a little bit of worry as a Dynamo fan, saying, uh-oh, these fresh bodies aren't the reserves. These are the starters. And we will have a substitution for Dayton as well.
Yep, that looks like Christian Montoya coming in, who's actually wearing 10. So numbers are really all over the place as far as what I thought was going to happen. Is I think that reset was a bit of a misfire there.
Referee called that substitution and they had to restart that.
Yeah, it's going to be Mark Hansen coming out of the match.
So Hansen played an excellent match. Montoya coming in has the speed. And that's something Dayton's going to need. But we're back in action, 70th minute. Ann Arbor in control. The Mighty Oak looking to make things happen, looking to turn the ball. And Jeremy,
Farkas.
This is where Dayton needs to step it up.
Montoya's going to kind of be the new outlet guy there, out on the far side, taking over for Hansen. So this ball gets played up here. JP looking for somewhere to go with this ball. He'll send it back to his back line here. Again, Ann Arbor, no hurry to really do much of anything. Just stay on the ball here as Farkas will play it up, and it's played right back to him. He's going to look to play this out wide. And actually, a great overlap with Willie there. Sarkody able to snuff it out, as that was very dangerous. This ball fall to Hutton. Eric Hutton's got Tristan Lyle with him. He'll find it, and I think Lyle's going to look to switch fields a little bit, and Chris Montoya, a little bit of space there. Kind of a heavy touch, and this ball will go out. It'll be a throw-in for the Dynamo. I think Montoya wanted a little more out of that. Dynamo throw-in. And now we're going to see another substitution. This will be Vanderslice. And the big man, Mike Schooneward, who had a little injury knock there potentially early on in the match, is finally subbed out, and he's actually going straight to the trainer's bench for some ice.
79th minute at this point, both coaches laying all their cards on the table, and we got 12, 13 minutes or so of action, ball being served in.
Into the box here. Tristan Lyle got ahead to it, I think. Yep, it'll be a goal kick.
Fans, well, I got a moment. I want to remind you about Circuits and Cables. They're a proud sponsor of the Dynamo. They're located on South Brown School Road in Vandalia. Circuits and Cables manufacture custom cables and circuit board assemblies. For more information, please visit their website, circuitsandcables.com.
Jai's going to just have to play this back to Weisenhunt as Dynamo look to reset again. They're really going to need to start pushing here in these. We about ready to take over into the final 10 minutes of this match. As Jai surveying the field, seeing a little bit more movement and going to try to find Montoya up top, gets ahead to it, then taken down. Free kick upcoming here.
Not sure the need to play the heavy pressure on the ball. Dayton will take it. 80th minute, they're going to have a free kick. Fresh bodies in. And one thing I will give credit to Ann Arbor, if you look at their back line, they look like a set of tree trunks. They are some big, big defenders. Dayton does not have the size. We just lost our tallest player.
Yeah, Lou Schooneward.
So this is going to be one of those times where you got to interwind the set play from going for a set ball off the ground, playing it in the air, where you're going to have to make something quick happen, quick pace.
Or do you just try to play it just really quickly there into the middle and have somebody kind of streak forward like a Sarkody, who's now kind of wandering his way in.
I think Sarkody actually might be a decoy here, but being double marked.
That'll just be played straight in off the wall. Yuri Farkas got to it. Now Christian Johnson's got to make his mind up because he has pressure coming, and good forced turnover there by Ann Arbor.
And Ann Arbor's going to come out quick on this one. Oh, they slow it down a little bit.
Well, Christian Johnson kind of getting in front of the throw in there. Kind of flirting on the line there with a little bit of obstruction there as Ann Arbor finally able to make that throw in happen. They'll have to send this back to the keeper, and Vanderslice streaking into the box after it.
An excellent high pressure forced the keeper to make a play that he does not want to do. You always have a keeper. The old adage with keepers, oh, they can kick it a country mile. But when it comes to playing the ball with their feet, sometimes those keepers can't kick it accurately a country mile, as I know from past experiences being a keeper. And, you know, it's got one of those things, you got to make it happen. Dayton now really pressing forward, only two defenders really at midfield.
Yeah, you see Christian Johnson kind of moving out wide there. Maybe
he's
back and good there by Vanderslice, who had plenty of space, got the ball on his head and just not able to put anything on it, and it trickles off. Goal kick is all that's coming from that one. A beautiful opportunity there. Great ball in there by Johnson, who has now moved out. I kind of thought this was going to happen. Ajay, more of a center back. He'll pair up there with Sam Miller. Let Johnson, who definitely has the pace and the boot, hang out on the wings.
82nd minute. Ann Arbor 1, Dayton Dynamo 0. Welcome Stadium, Dayton, Ohio. Thank you, fans, for coming out. Folks listening to our broadcast. Dayton, though, find himself at we mentioned a crucial point of the match. Now it's getting critical where they got to make something happen.
Yeah, a little head tennis ends there as Ann Arbor able to settle the ball down under a little bit of pressure there from Vanderslice. And, well, once again, credit to Vanderslice. That's now the second throw-in he's created for the Dynamo. Ajay's going to get this ball.
And both teams at this point need to play the ball to feet. Long balls are not going to work speed-wise. Yes, you may outrun your man, and that will work out well. But playing a long ball, it's just hard in this heat to build up the stamina to get a run.
This will be headed over. Now Oliveira plays it up. Ajay gets in front of that one there as JP, I believe, up there. Could have been absolutely gone and in on goal. Play out here. Christian Johnson ushering his guys, get in the box. I'm going to throw this thing in here.
Ann Arbor 9 back in the defensive third.
Mitch Diley. Looks like he's going to come in here as Ajay off the throw-in. Plays up. Keeper, a little contact there. Christian Johnson, or Christian Montoya rather. Nothing really coming of it, just be kick here for Tippenden, who's had himself a fantastic match. Not called into action a ton, but in spurts he's had to really step up and make some saves. This ball will find Sam Miller and now Kissinger. A little heavy touch there, and actually they're going to call something back there. This will be Dynamo's ball. I don't know if Miller might have took an elbow or something there to the face.
And they're going to let Ann Arbor have a substitution. Actually, player's going to be
That's a red card. Oh my goodness. I have no idea what just happened there.
I think language had it been dissent.
Miller has definitely been hit in the head. And that's a red card, and that here as we tick into about 6 minutes plus stoppage time left. This is a bit of a change here. Although, however, we're not sure what's going to happen with Sam Miller, who looks like his mouth is bleeding. Yeah,
It looked like both players are going up for the ball in a 50-50 ball. I didn't see anything vicious. Referee just signaled that he's led with his elbow right into the mouth.
Yeah.
And that's a tough one. As a coach, obviously he's not. Ann Arbor's coach is very upset about the call. And that's one of those ones where, yes, your player got a red card. I'm not going to fault him. You're going for the ball. You know, and I know from past experience, there's a difference between going up for a ball and then going to take someone's head off. I don't think the intent was there, but now this resets the table for the game. 85th
Well, and
minute.
are we still sure? I mean, as you pointed out, was it the elbow that got the red, or was it the conversation afterwards? Because it was at least a good minute or 90 seconds.
The referee came over and was signaling with his arm and making the motion.
I don't know. Was the referee just trying to figure out what happened? Because he waited a while there to produce that red card. And now here in the 86th minute of play, we have a whole new ball game as the Dynamo have a man advantage. They'll have to see if they can capitalize as Mitch Diley got on the ball there. He just subbed in. Guessing he subbed in for Sam Miller? Yeah. Don't see Sam back out on the field. He was bleeding pretty heavily, and he's actually laying down on the trainer's table. We hope that he doesn't have to receive stitches or anything like that. Tippenden's going to send this ball forward.
And Arbor looking to do a little bit of holding, looking to delay time.
Yeah, just taking it over to the corner.
That ball, look, that's going to be a throw in for Ann Arbor.
Yep, corner flag also.
Ann Arbor will definitely slow the pace. They're going to call a sub. They're going to get their last sub into the match. This will be number 13.
Noah Kleitke. Brighton, Michigan, Case Western product. First appearance of the season is right now for him. He's a striker, so I guess I don't know if he was just the warm body on the bench that they wanted to call up, or if this was trying to kind of replace JP, who's now out of the match.
And Arbor looking to hold, looking to turn. Nice turn there, no one home. Ball's going to go out for a Dynamo throw-in.
Yeah, Mitch Dyler will have that.
87th minute, Dayton's got to be quick to the pace to the ball here. Fans, want to remind you one more time for your latest Dynamo news, notes, and team shop, visit the team website at DaytonDynamo.com. And also, Jeremy, we'll have a minute. Let's tell them about the website or the Facebook page.
At DaytonDynamo.com, you can go on to also our social media at Dayton Dynamo. Facebook, just look us up. Obviously, any of our promotions, we'll put that there. We'll also, if you aren't able to attend the game, aren't able to listen to our beautiful voices or Lee's voices on the radio broadcast, you can sit there at the Twitter. So if you had like a wedding and you're bored and the match is going on, you just look down. We're live tweeting. Keeps you informed of what's happening here. As Christian Johnson will have the throw in here. 88th minute of play. Dynamo need to do something. It's going to have to happen right now.
No call.
No call on that handball.
Unintentional, but boy, we had nice to take that one.
Mighton trying to find Montoya, who's onside, going to play it up. And that's got to be a penalty right there, and it absolutely is.
Coach Gordon very excited by that call. Equalized a possible attempt here, went up for the ball, got tangled up. The referee has to make the call in the box.
Mitch Diley just mowed over on that one, and this will be Christian Montoya to take this one. Montoya has one goal on the season, and that was a PK against Detroit. This could be the equalizer up here. Tippenden had himself a good match so far in his first performance. This will have to definitely be a big moment here for him. As now they're switching this up. It's going to be Vanderslice is going to take this. The veteran playing Montoya off the ball here. Vanderslice to take. Montoya not happy about that. He's looking over at the bench saying, this is my ball. I'm the guy that scores the PKs, but it'll be Vanderslice instead. The veteran, head coach at Chaminade Julian right here in Dayton. Step up as Tippenden trying to psych him out. Slapping the crossbar. Here we go. Vanderslice puts it in the back of the net, and we are tied up here.
89th minute, we talked about those moments of short balls and making it happen. Dayton making a mistake in the first half, giving up an own goal. Ann Arbor giving up a push in the box, something unexcusable. Dayton will take the equalizer, and you would say you have a brand new ball game, but at this point in the match.
Do both teams just say, let's just ride this bad boy out? Because if you're Ann Arbor, obviously, listen, you're already in first place. You're going to be first place even without this. With just the 1 point. You're fine.
Full throttle. Even though you're down with 10, I would go full throttle.
Throw the kitchen sink. And Tippenden's going to send this ball forward. Ajay is going to try to get on the end of this one. He doesn't. Gets played up. But really, no one home there for Ann Arbor up top as they're still trying to figure out what they're doing.
And I think Dayton, though, is going to hold on and try to get this tie. This will be a tie that will definitely shake the foundation of the division.
Fantastic result for them. Ajay here with it as we are in the about ready to tick over into stoppage time. This ball is going to go forward. Tristan Lyle had a great game here. Puts the pressure on, so they'll have the throw in upcoming. Looking at the fourth official, he just looked over at the home bench to say how much time as we're back underway. Ajay sending this ball forward. It's going to be Mitch Diley coming in to clean this ball up as it rolls to him.
He'll serve one in.
Yeah, he's going to send this ball in.
Good bounce.
Plays in there, and oh, wow. Bit of a miscommunication there, and could have been dangerous. Defender and keeper coming together there. That could have been an absolute disaster for Ann Arbor.
Rarely do you have the color commentator just stand there and go, but that's my direct quote from me. Wow. He needs to get the ball out, but now we're in extra time. Dayton's got the man advantage. This is where you go. The referee is...
Yeah, I think we're going to get a substitution possibly here. Nate Johnson getting ready to step in. London, England native, Lincoln Memorial University. This will be his third appearance on the season. It's one of the earlier subs. Not sure if he took a knock or something, but that's Yuri Farkas coming out. So really only a few minutes there for Farkas on the afternoon. And this is a defensive sub, though. So maybe it is Ann Arbor just trying to hold their bearings and get out of here alive. This ball is going to be played in up top to Johnson. He's going to send that across, and they were looking for that to hit somebody. Deflect somewhere. It didn't. Just went straight out.
Excellent play with Ann Arbor packing the back so much. You have that opportunity. Good thing Ann Arbor did not get a relay and get a fast break. Eric Kissinger, a man with great speed, or great touch, but not one for speed. But Ann Arbor going to keep on giving this a go here.
They're going to bomb this forward here. Looking for someone to get on the end of it. Willie's going to chase there, trying to get around to Ajay, who's just going to flick it up. Corey will be the one. He's going to have to play this a little quicker than he originally thought, because he had breathing right down on his neck there. Noah Klitke right in his face. So throw in here for Ann Arbor. We're at least probably maybe a minute or so into stoppage time.
And Ann Arbor doesn't look like they're going to press forward. They're going to see what one-on-one they can do. Dayton needs to control this headed ball back to Corey Weisenhut, the keeper. And I think Dayton is just going to keep on pressing forward.
I see the coaches, though. They're saying the opposite.
Send it.
You got Catherine Gordon saying send it. You got the strength and conditioning coach. This ball is going to go up to Mitch Diley. Julio Herrera, the Colombian. Unfortunate to see what happened to his team last night, so he's fired up. He wants to see a win by somebody he's affiliated with.
Ann Arbor's going to get a throw in, and I think at this point they just want to get out of here with a tie and our shock look on their face. Dayton, though, is going to still stay tight on their defense.
Yeah, you can't give up anything silly here. Don't make any goofy fouls. This ball will go. Kristen Johnson will get in on the end of that one. He'll let Ann Arbor just play it out of touch. Throwing up, coming here for the Dynamo.
Make the run, make the run. There you go.
Is it off for Montoya?
That's what you
play it up to Christian Mighton. Mighton able to stay with it. He'll send this ball into the box. No one really home as it deflects straight up in the air. Ann Arbor guys just laying out, just trying to get this ball back. Mighton and Montoya just took an elbow straight into the face from the Brazilian. We've already seen one red card. He got absolutely cracked right on the beak there.
And the referee's going to say play on. If the assistant referee didn't see the play,
Oliveira might have gotten away with one there, as that could have been some real danger. I mean, you obviously look at red cards, especially late in the match, they still mean you're not playing next week. This ball go out as Hutton gets tangled up there.
Ball still in play. Ball still in play. Could be a foot
Billy
race.
Bamey and Ajay getting to this one. He'll play it out for Corey.
Corey have a time to settle the ball.
Yep.
Referee looking at his watch, but not really intently.
This ball gets sent upfield. Somewhat nerviness times, really, for both teams. As Dynamo able to get a few opportunities. Willie about a mile offside on that.
That's match.
That's your match. The Dynamo steal a point at home. You generally don't say that, but in this case, when you're going up against the league leaders and you are in last place, that is exactly what just happened here.
And that is a confidence booster for the Dayton Dynamo. Congratulations to Coach Gordon filling in and gets to come away. She'll take the tie, and this is one that you remember forever as a coach. And the Dynamo in Ann Arbor locked up at 1-1, your final score. Very impressive. We talked about the short touches and making those quick plays. Both teams capitalized on errors, 2 errors by each team. And this is one, I think, Jeremy, we have a building rivalry here. Because this one is definitely one. Dayton came away from Ann Arbor with the loss, very dissatisfied with the loss, turning the tables.
Now Ann Arbor comes down here and they got the bad taste in their mouth. Really great organization in Ann Arbor. We got a chance to talk to their ownership group that are here in town hanging out with them. Great guys trying to make soccer big in their city just like we are here in Dayton. Once again, your final, Alex Vanderslice in the, what do you have, an 89th minute? I don't even
89th.
89th minute with the PK dagger to get a point there. 43rd minute is where Ann Arbor got on the board. It was Christian Johnson actually on the own goal. So Dynamo responsible for both goals today, but a huge result for the Dynamo.
And we're going to coin it for Dynamo history, the PK heard around the Midwest Division.
Yeah, a big one there. I know a lot of other teams in Michigan, Detroit City, some of the other guys, they were paying attention to this match because they want to see the top dog. They want to see the king get taken down a peg. They didn't come away with 3 points. They just got the 1. That changes things for the Dynamo. It's another step in the right direction. So that'll do it for us. On behalf of Pete Zeeler, I'm Jeremy Lance. We want to thank all of our crew here at Dayton Public Schools helping us put on this broadcast. And we want to thank you for watching. We'll catch you next time here for Dayton Dynamo Soccer. Goodbye, everyone.